didn't know if they just announced that the person had a prior engagement and everything.
What's the date?
Okay. Well, last time Joel was on.
That was good writing, this one was fun.
Floyd,
Sir,
you have my permission.
you have mine too.
Okay, good evening. Welcome to the City of West Point, September 30th, 2025 work session. We're going to
You'll
begin
need to
this.
unlock your iPhone first.
Please.
We'll begin by having a public hearing this evening. I would like to call on Paul Jarrell, Three Rivers Regional Commission, to come up and explain to us about the public hearing.
Thank you, Mayor. It's good to be with you again. This is the, I guess, second to last public hearing we'll have for the comp plan update. We have one in the very beginning of the process, and the way you guys do it here, you have two before you complete the plan process. So we have met with our committee that we put together almost weekly there in July. I think, Dennis, right, about 5 weeks in a row or something like that. And thank you for all those who are participating in that committee. So we are wrapping up the 5-year update of the comprehensive plan. And I've just got a quick little overview presentation here to give you. Again, the 20-year vision is what we're trying to renew here. We update the plan every 5 years, but the vision, as we talk about needs and goals and what we want to be in the future, is a 20-year and ahead vision there. So major components of the plan is the character areas map and future land use. Of course, the 5-year community work program. We'll talk about that towards the end. And of course, needs and opportunities and goals and strategies. Of course, stakeholder and public input as well. We had a survey that was put out for public input as well. So again, we're required to do this, but we try not to emphasize that. We try to emphasize this is a great way of getting the community vision onto paper. So as a city council and as planning commissions and city staff, you can look at the plan and go, this is kind of what we set as our goals, this is kind of what our vision is. So when a rezoning decision or development decision comes your way, you can kind of look at the plan and go, is this in line with what we want? Of course, it also helps with the community work program. It helps you with supporting any kind of goals or grant writing you want to do. So if you've got major projects coming down that you have listed in your work program that need grant funding, it's always good to have a plan in place to show the need of that project. And the comp plan is part of that, but your redevelopment plan along 10th Street, your downtown master plan, all those kind of things help bolster the community's backing for any kind of grant funding out there. I'm sure Dennis and Megan could attest to the need to have it in your plan for it to be a viable project. Let's see. So again, what we started the process with is our committee meetings, and what we did was a SWOT analysis. Many of you have probably done a SWOT analysis before, but it talks about what strengths are in existence in the community, what weaknesses do we need to work on, opportunities and threats. Again, we have the community survey out there. Here's the public hearings. This was the one of 3 public hearings that we'll have as part of the process. And of course, ongoing discussions with staff and community stakeholders about the plan. And as we sat with the group, we have talked about the past plan, we talked about the downtown master plan, and all the other things that are on the books for you guys, the 10th Street redevelopment plan. All those things kind of come together to help support this one document. When we talk about goals and needs and vision for the community, we talk, the word comprehensive is exactly that. We talk about various topics that are pertinent to the city of West Point, economic development and community development being one, transportation, housing, community facilities, land use, cultural and natural resources, all go into the plans. All those types of topic areas or components within the current plan. And one thing that we did update was our character area map, not drastically, but you should have a copy of that in front of you. We kind of tweaked some character areas and added some additional ones and extended some of the ones that we had in place. Some of the obvious character areas that we have are, historic downtown, your traditional residential, And all of these have narratives that go along with it. So this is kind of your geographic vision for the city. So each character area has a different function, a different feel, a different a way of having a vision within the community. And like I said, each of those have different narratives. Each of those have different land use visions for the city and implementation measures for each. So again, we have historic downtown. That's kind of the obvious, starting in the historic core of the city. And moving out from that, we have our traditional residential that incorporates a lot of your historic districts. You have multiple National Register historic districts here, and of course downtown's on the National Register too. Then working out from that, you have developing residential, so those areas that are on the edge of what's already established, what could be, what could grow, where your residential growth could go. Green space and recreation, of course, they're in the large green areas there along the river, areas that are owned by the city and that are kind of reserved for parks and trails and that kind of thing. Then you've got developing commercial, that's mainly along your interstate corridor and your interstate exits. That's majorly going to be developing commercial areas. And then one of the ones that we expanded was your redevelopment corridors. That's the 10th Street corridor there from the river all the way to, I guess that's O.G. Skinner basically. No, it's past that. It goes out to 109, 103. Yeah. So we extended it from, I think it ended at O.G. Skinner before, and so we've gone all the way to where your commercial is growing out there towards the Harris County line. So we extended that area. We added one corridor, so your Highway 29 section beginning at unincorporated Troup County, where the city of West Point city limits is on the north end, all the way to where your public works building is and towards the cemetery. We have designated that an in-town corridor. Also, just like your 10th Street corridor, where it incorporates your quality community overlay district, we wanted to kind of extend that focus over there too, just to kind of ensure that any kind of growth that happens out there will be high quality, and I think somewhat to limit the commercial growth out there and keep that at bay, because you almost have another very established residential area out there, and that's kind of what the majority of the land uses are out there. So we wanted the growth that came in that area to be compatible with what is existing. We designated a new one as well for a neighborhood activity center. So it's kind of hard to see because it's right next to the new regional center, the new employment center. But the area where the West Point Elementary School is and the former Housing Authority site, and even behind that is where the Learning Center and where Dennis's office is. And then over the tracks where you've got some storage commercial and some small scale commercial. All those parcels we kind of noticed were connected, but they weren't connected via any kind of pedestrian or roadway. So you've got all these kind of small scale activity centers that are kind of all right there working kind of together, but they're not connected. So the thought was to kind of, let's look at that as one whole area and maybe work on some connections via sidewalks or streets or that kind of thing. So whatever happens with the school property, kind of making sure that kind of all works together, and making more of a focus on connectivity over there. And another new one we have is the Employment Center, the Office Park. So that's the main corridor where O.G. Skinner is, where that's kind of your original industrial park, I guess you'd say. With Kia and all the heavy industrial that's happening north of town and your industrial park and industrial growth over into Harris County, we kind of felt like that area there maybe serves more in the future as more of an office park type development. Not so bigger scale like Kia or any kind of supplier situation where you've got some large scale buildings, but maybe more office, more medium scale commercial. So including probably some light commercial, light industrial too. And then just your regular industrial, that's kind of self-explanatory. That's where your Kia site is and where your suppliers are, and the growth over there into Harris County too. And another new one that we had is the Regional Center. That's kind of a unique one because it's along your interstate corridor, but it's also along your commercial corridor there. I think the initial thought was thinking residential in the future, but I think we're thinking more mixed use now, isn't that right, Dennis? So that's going to be a mix of residential and commercial over there on that side of town. So those are our character areas. That's our geographic vision for the city. So that kind of just helps you know where future growth comes in. You know what kind of growth you want to see, what kind of future land use policy do you want to implement in those areas. And let's see, I've got an excerpt of the community work program in the presentation here, but I'm not going to go by line by line, but this is just give you an idea of what's going into the new work program. So this is the next 5 years. And a part of this is also a report of plan accomplishments. So it's kind of your report card of what you did in the previous work program. So the previous work program was 2021 to 2025. So as part of the comprehensive plan process, you kind of give a status update on all those. And we either say it's complete, it's underway, it's postponed, or it's dropped as a city priority. So any projects that were deemed underway or postponed have been moved into the new work program, and because those are underway and haven't been completed. And so we have a new work program slated, and that includes, like I said, the projects that were either underway or postponed from the previous work program, but also projects that we had that came out of our discussions with the committee, some of the projects that you already had kind of in tow with your priorities as a city, either grants wise or SPLOST funds wise. So those are the next projects that you kind of want to see done in the next 5 years. So as you can see, each of those items has a preliminary kind of time frame associated with each, what responsible party, if it's the city, or what kind of department within the city, what the approximate cost might be, and what funding sources may go into that project. And they run the gamut between Parks and Rec, the community facilities, economic development, and all that kind of thing. So as you can see, it's quite a good list. So you'll be busy in the next 5 years. And so next steps, so this is the second public hearing. We'll have this. That's kind of your first reading, first public hearing, and then I think the meeting in October is where we'll submit the plan officially for review. And that goes to the Department of Community Affairs for their review. Once we get the review back from them, we'll deem the plan ready to adopt by the City Council, and that will be the end of the 5-year update. Any questions for me, or questions of any kind of words I said that may be confusing, or if I spoke too fast, or
Anybody have any questions?
and like I said, this is kind of we won't submit the plan quite yet. We'll have the other hearing in October to submit the plan officially, so there's plenty of time to tweak it and to see any kind of other changes that we want to see put into the plan, something that we may have missed or something that we need to add details wise. So plenty of time to make the plan final. So that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Paul.
Absolutely.
It's exciting to have somebody that's not from here be so in tune with what's going on around here.
Well, it's great. I mean, the committee helped with that. I mean,
Yeah.
You learn so much, with all the initiatives that Megan's involved with and all the stuff that Dennis is doing, and you have quite the vibrant community. So
Thank you. Thank you.
good to be with you.
All right, well, that's the explanation of what we're doing, and we are in a public hearing. Is there anyone here who would like to comment? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing, and I'll call the work session to order. I'm going to review the agenda tonight. We have a community update from Megan Richardson and Mike Pitt. We have City Street Logics with Ed. We have a sponsorship for the Christmas on the Hooch. We have an award construction contractor for the Woodyard Trail. We have the 2026 city budget update. And then we have an executive session following that for pending legal litigation. So those are the items on the agenda tonight. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, tonight we have public comment. I won't read this if there's no one here. Is anybody who would like to make public comment? Hearing none, we'll go right into new business. We'll start with the community update, and we'll call on Miss Megan Richardson. Come up.
Good evening. Mr. Mean asked me to give you a community update, and I'm going to start downtown and then work my way toward the interstate, just to give you a reference of the direction and location. But in the last 12 months, downtown West Point has had several new businesses locate on 3rd Avenue, which is commonly referred to as kind of our main street in West Point. And those businesses are Scott Candle Co., The Coffee Gin, Twine and Pine Trading Co., Pack and Ship, Steak & Co., Birds on a Wire Photography, La Familia Mexican Restaurant, Pure Souls, and State Line Nutrition. 4 of these businesses applied and received a facade grant from the Downtown Development Authority. The City of West Point was also selected to participate in the Georgia Municipal Association and the Georgia Cities Foundation Georgia Placemaking Collaborative. This is a 2-year program with 2 retreats per year, and the collaborative seeks to bring and restore prosperity through the creation of community placemaking strategy. And these strategies will capitalize on local assets to create healthy, appealing, and unique places for people to live, work, and play. Our first retreat was in April at GMA's office in Atlanta, and we heard from cities that were in the 2nd year and learned a lot and identified opportunities that we could bring back to West Point for our placemaking strategy. This week is actually the fall retreat for the first year, and 2 of our community members are going to be attending in Thomasville. This first year, the city is eligible for a $500 micro grant for our placemaking project, which we are coming up with and discussing with our team. And then today we also launched one of our first projects, which is Art on Fire, a fire hydrant painting program. So there is an application for artists to submit a design of a fire hydrant, and we'll review those and identify the fire hydrant for those to be painted on. And so we'll review the applications in November, announce or contact the recipients in December, and then they should have those painted before March of next year. Moving out toward the interstate, TACO Construction has started construction of a new 4-building campus located on Kia Parkway. This building, the first building, is to be completed, will be a 104,000 square foot Class A industrial warehouse. It is perfect for logistics, distribution, and automotive supply chain operations, and is an ideal site for just-in-time logistics capabilities. The site is positioned to efficiently serve the growing network of manufacturing and assembly plants throughout Georgia and Alabama, and they are hosting a broker event in October. So I'll be speaking at that event to those to share more about our community and the opportunities we have. And then lastly, and our most exciting project over the last 2 years has been what was previously the Coca-Cola Bottling Company building at East 10th Street at Exit 2. Once the property donation was completed, the West Point Development Authority considered many different options for the building and site and ultimately decided to demolish the existing structure and pursue a hotel-anchored commercial development with a national recognized brand. We have a hotel developer that has actively been working with the city and development authority, and we are working through legal components of the project and hope to be able to share more regarding the hotel brand in early 2026. 2 parcels will also be marketed, one for a full service restaurant, and the second parcel could potentially be a multi-tenant strip with a drive-through capacity. 2 upcoming events we have planned. Saturday, October 25th at New Horizon Community Theater, we will have a family movie night at 7 p.m. And currently, the movie with the most votes is Hocus Pocus. So that's the one I predict will be the one we will be showing, since it is pretty far ahead in the lead. But we'll share more about once we get all that, the licensing completed on the movie. We'll get that out as well. And then the Christmas tree lighting is planned for Tuesday, December 2nd. If you have any suggestions for a speaker or singers, please let me know. I'd be happy to invite them to be part of our community event. And that's all I have.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next we have Mr. Mike Pitts.
Good evening. This is just the update on things we do throughout the year, some of them, most of them. I guess y'all have that in y'all's package.
Yeah, we have it in the package.
Okay. All right, the information, how we get it out to the community is we send out flyers to each school in our area. And then the West Point Elementary is generous enough to let us put on an electronic sign. And First Baptist Church does the same thing. And we put it in the newspaper, and the city puts it on their Facebook. And we got a program, Civic Rec, that we send out text messages, emails of all participants that have participated in the past. And then it gives you updated flyers, important dates and reminders. and we do cancellations and all that kind of stuff when we need to. And then the year-round programs in the winter, we have basketball, and it's like 4 through 13 boys and girls. And the people that are registered on the holidays, when school's out, we let them come into the gym and participate, just free play shoot. In the spring, we do t-ball, baseball, softball, Little League All-Stars, and All-Star Older Leagues. And that goes from 4 to 18-year-olds for the boys and girls 9 through 16. And then the sports activities for the instructional camps. A lot of times y'all see it advertised like Point University. It is not Point University, it's us doing it. But it's a selling point because the public loves college coaches and things like that. But it is the recreation department that's putting it on. We hire coaches to instruct it. And one of our biggest programs is art instruction classes. I wish we could do a lot more, but getting art teachers to do it year round is kind of hard to do. So we do it in sections, and like we had spaces for 30 filled up the first week. So, and that's, but we're gonna work on trying to. She only does 2 a year, but she had a child, so that limited it only one time this summer. And then we have Troop High School, which we put Troop because the head girl coach comes down and does that camp for us. And in the fall, we got going on right now: football, cheerleading, flag football, soccer, and that goes from ages tackle. Flag football is 8 through 12. Then we got 5 through 7 flag football, and cheerleading goes 8 through 12. Then we have ballet, which is kind of fading out because they got some other places to go. And one thing we do for any child is fees and vouchers. If you can see right there, recreation department, we don't do it for instructional classes, but for any of the sports activities and things like that, we do a $20 fee instead of the $35. $35 is the lowest in the area, first of all. Most places is $60 or higher, but we do it at $35. But if they come in and fill out a waiver, they can do it for $20. Then we have this program, Peach State Vouchers. It's free for anyone that participates in the Peachtree program. But that's the catch to that. So when you're in that, you got to take the child to do a wellness checkup. You got to do dental, all that. They go through all them steps and they get one, and it's free for them to participate in the program. And in the winter months, we do basketball. We have 126 registered. And for adults, we do Silver Sneakers, Flex, and we got the Senior Center and the Adult Basketball League. Spring, youth baseball, had 338 for baseball, 178 for softball, girls, a total of 516. And then same for Adult Flex and Silver Sneakers, which is a big program, and Active Life is every day of the week. And in the summers when we do all the camps. So we did the softball, the baseball, the soccer, the basketball, art camp, All-Stars after the regular season baseball comes up, and it's a whole nother season there. And then for our other activities, we got 2 splash pads. We have about 3,100 that came to the splash pad over here by the Avenue D. And summer playground program is a good program for the kids. All they got to do is sign up. It's free to them. We have activities, and then we feed them breakfast, lunch, and each Friday we transported children to the Greek Center swimming pool throughout the summer. So we bust them up there for swimming. And in the fall, that's the numbers for the fall. I ain't going through that. Right now, we got 74 registered tackle football, 30 cheerleaders, 41 flag football, 107 soccer, and then for adults, we got silver sneakers and flags. And I always like to recognize that, like we have 20 teams in the winter, but we had 80 coaches.
What is Flex Point?
That's a exercise program. Kim and Post and them do it. It's kind of, it's not really big. We're trying to grow it. We do it over here in 602 building. So, and but coaches, we had 80 in the winter, had 156 in the spring, 104 in the fall, and all these are volunteers. Couldn't do it without them. And sponsorships, we can't do without that because that's what keeps our program registration fees low. We have 72 sponsors this year at $250 a piece, so it helps out a lot on that. And then you go to our parks. We got Virginia Cook. A lot of folks think it's just a rental facility for adults. 90% of it's for children. It's birthday parties, baby showers. They pay us $125 and spend $600 on decorations. And that's not no lie. And then we got the River Park Pavilion, which is everybody, when they use it, they love it. So, and John Hodges Park is first come, first served, so they come and participate in it with birthday parties and things like that. And we got a lot of walking trails. Half the public don't know we need to publicize it a little more. It's used a lot over at the ball field while the children are practicing on the blacktop, and then they can go back, which has been cleared off really good to walk back in the woods now. Mm-hmm. And then we got 6th Avenue Park, which is a playground, pavilion, and open area. And a lot of folks, y'all might not even know, we have 5 playgrounds in the city of West Point that the city put up, which the playground is 2 at O.G. Skinner Drive, 1 at City Park, 1 at 6th Avenue Park, and then 1 at Housing Authority. So a lot of folks think we just got that 1 at the ball field. And the 1 at 6th Avenue Park, it's a nice one, if you hadn't ever seen. And that's a recap of that. Anybody got any questions?
I have one. The flag football, is that for girls yet?
No, it's co-ed, it's 5 through 7. We
Okay.
ain't got into the older flag yet.
But it's co-ed.
Yeah, it's co-ed,
Okay.
yeah. And they just as rough as the boys.
I reckon it's called the 6th Avenue Park, the secret park.
Yeah, it is.
That is a nice park.
Yeah.
It's a shame more people don't use it.
Yeah.
Is a lot of this listed on our website? Or is any of this
It's
listed on our
going to be
website?
with the new websites coming up, it's going to be.
It will all be listed there.
It's all on the website, and we're currently doing an update.
Okay.
And we get it on Facebook, the city Facebook. Any activities we have on, we put it on the city Facebook page.
Mike, explain what Flex is, since it's for older.
Let me tell you, I have never done Flex. It can be from like body pump to, you can go at your own space and pace and stuff. And one I like the most is
So
Tracy
is it like aerobics or?
No, it ain't aerobic, but
Oh.
we have had some calls for aerobics, and we just gotta find an aerobics instructor. That's hard to find too. It kind of faded out. It used to be, we've had up to 40 to 50 people in aerobics before, but it's faded out over the years.
So the adult programs are normally like what, 11 o'clock? Don't have anything in the afternoons?
Like the one that Tracy does for cheer exercise, silver sneakers, it's,
Morning.
yeah. I'm trying to think. I should have brought a schedule on that.
That's okay.
But that's something, the adult programs, it's kind of, they're more concerned about the children now. We have more people coming to the park with that instead of participating in softball, basketball, and the shift change that they have now. You know, working 3 shifts and not, they gotta work, then they take care of their children. We see more adults at the ball field with their children than ever before. You know, you can take a 6-year-old, they're gonna bring 6 people, grandparents to all the way through. You get to 13, 14, you get 2 parents on them. So,
It said 66 kids went to the Greek Center on Fridays. How many Fridays did you do that?
throughout the summer, I can't tell you exactly how many Saturdays.
Just
we
about
was
every
one
Friday
week,
then?
We was 1 week behind when we first started to play, right when school was out. We started playground, and they restroom only. The parents have to come restroom. We had 66 restroom, so we have a bus that we transport them, and you use the senior van to take them up there on Fridays. They had to sign a permission slip to go, so and we always kept 1 or 2 staff people at the gym, the ones that didn't want to go, and then the others went with other staff. We use parapros from the school system to be our instructors on site.
Do you think there's room for expansion in that program? Could we get them up to the swim lessons if they offer?
That's something we can look in. We're gonna have to, I mean, that's something we have to start early, because their class is filling up pretty quick up there, because they're the only one in the area really doing the Red Cross, Valley Might, but doing Red Cross swimming lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we used to have the biggest here.
Yeah.
I mean, a long time ago, till we lost some of the instructors and things.
The Sportsplex does those too, the Valley.
Yeah, I don't know if they're doing Red Cross, but I think they do.
I think it is.
Yeah. And I think they have, I mean, between them and the Grange is what they do.
Mr. Mike, what's the average age of the kids that were going up there? Was it smaller kids or?
Yeah. It's playground programs, it starts at kindergarten through 12-year-olds. Now, the parents have to sign a paper saying they'll let one go, though, before. Even though they signed a release form, we make them sign another release form for swimming. So parents know they're going off-site and know exactly where they're at. And, we don't want to take no one off-site unless the parents knows.
One more thing too. I was looking on Facebook last week and I saw where they had a lady coming to the Greer Center to talk to the parents about how to sign up for the school vouchers, the Peach State vouchers.
Yeah.
You think we could possibly have somebody come down here and do the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, we can do it through our office.
Okay.
If someone comes in, they give us information and we start the process. It's changed, and they had a hiccup on it up there. It's because their dates didn't match our dates for registration, because they got to get them enrolled. I mean, a lot of kids already are enrolled in Peach State medical plan, but they have to go through this voucher to be able to. It was complicated at first, and it was a little discommunication, but it's got better, and they're supposed to be working on it now. But yeah, any information, they just send them to us, and we figure it out after that point.
So Mike, if someone wanted to sponsor some girls for cheerleaders, like if they wanted to have their own cheerleaders, do they go through the rec, get it all set up, and then contact the girls? Is that how it goes?
Well, we do all the registration of anybody that wants to sign up for cheerleading, football, basketball, baseball, and then we put them on teams. And for football cheerleading, we have one sponsor for that football team, which is that cheerleading team too. So falls under that. And we're lucky that we got some good business in town. Our sponsorships fill up pretty quick. I think out of every team we had this fall, we missed 3 because we've got, they run together real quick. And we have the same ones that step up and do it. We've been really lucky on that. Anything?
Well, thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate that. All right, next we have the City Street Logics. Ed, if you'll tell us about that.
Yes, sir.
few months ago, we talked to y'all about the, what then was Street Logic, and now they call it City Logic, but, they, Roger through the Public Works Department has purchased this program. They came and scored all of our streets and sidewalks and street signs, marked all the stormwater inlets, and really took a good accounting of all of the infrastructure associated with the streets in the city. The map you see here is of the streets, because that's what we're working on right now. Roger's getting ready to do our paving program for this year, and our streets will be Avenue L, and these are just sections of these streets: East 12th Street to Grant Court, Till Road, which is Terrace Road, to Till Road, which is the beginning of Till, West 11th Street, 3rd Avenue, 2nd Avenue, East 8th Street, Avenue E to Avenue F, Cherry Drive, 10th Street to 4th Avenue, and then we got a couple of striping projects. Of course, we'll do all those if our budget, if we can afford to do all those. But those are the first ones on our list, and I want to show you how they score these and how it is in the system. We don't just select these. There's the program does the pavement condition index, which selects the streets. So on the map, you can see that the different colors indicate the streets that are the ones that need resurfacing, or the ones that need to be just potholes filled, and it goes through again the entire city and selects all those roads. And the list then, and we're just learning about this, so I'm no pro at this program, but got a training tomorrow, as a matter of fact. We have these listed under the PCI, so that Avenue L is the street that scored, I think, 100 to be resurfaced first. And if you go to that, then you're actually able to go in here, look at all the information about that street, and you're also able to go to it and see the condition of the street. Of course, these are not Google Earth images. These are the images that they made when they came and scored everything. So you can come in and take a look at that. As all these streets are done, then it'll be put into the system, and we'll be able to track all of that and just move on down this list of streets then that needs to be resurfaced. That's about all I can tell you about it today. But, any questions on that?
We'll wait for you to learn more.
Well, I appreciate that. I'll try my best.
Where did that Cherry Drive intersection fall in that list? How far down is it?
It'll be from 3rd Avenue.
No, I meant just on the priority there.
Oh, that one.
Big hole.
That one was not listed. There's a.
Okay.
We've got it. Yeah. That one didn't get in the mapping. I think it's on the map, but I don't think it's on the. Let's see if it's on here. No, that's 7th Street. So it's this section right here.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
A little bitty.
Huge
Little-
hole in
That
that
one-
road.
The reason we're doing that, we're having a lot of problems and complaint from the city of Lynette.
I know.
So we're gonna do the Georgia side. Well, for years, I tried to go in with city of Lynette Public Works.
Yeah.
Either they do the striping and we do the paving, or they do the paving, we do the striping, but we couldn't never get nothing worked out with them, so we're just gonna do the Georgia side, and they had to worry about that.
Yeah.
side.
That's all we should do.
So we'll just do that section right there.
Yeah. All right. Anybody have any questions on that? If not, let's move on to the sponsorship for Christmas on the Hooch. Madam Richardson.
I think Kristen sent out a packet provided by Keisha Canelio at the Borough Warehouse regarding the sponsorship for Christmas on the Hooch. This is the third year of this free community event. It is planned for Saturday, December 6th from 11 to 4 at the West Point Depot. Last year, there were over 300 kids at Christmas on the Hooch, and she anticipates having over 400 kids this year. Again, it is all free activities and crafts, and inflatables, and Santa, and she has some shopping available there. And so, at your meeting, you'll consider the sponsorship for 2025's Christmas on the Hooch.
Anybody have any questions?
We did the $5,000 sponsorship last year, so council approved.
Anybody have any questions on that? All right, well, why don't you just jump into the
Okay.
contractor for Woodyard?
On Tuesday, September 2nd, the advertisement for bids for the Woodyard Trail was posted on the city website. And so the sealed bids for furnishing all materials, labor, tools, equipment necessary for the construction of the Woodyard Trail will be received on Tuesday, October 7th here at City Hall at 2 p.m. At that time, the bids will be open and read aloud. Again, this project is a 0.3 mile ADA accessible concrete trail, creating a river walk along the bank of the Chattahoochee River. It will connect to the existing loop trail and will extend to the Alabama state line. It will include 3 wildlife viewing areas and also include signage to improve access to water trails on the Chattahoochee River. This project is being funded partially by the Department of Natural Resources grant. So since we are receiving and opening the bids on Tuesday, October 7th, we would like for the City Council to award that construction bid at their business meeting on October 13th. We anticipate that the project can be completed in 3 months from the contract award. And this, the property is owned by the Downtown Development Authority. The grant was submitted is a federally funded grant. We submitted it through the city, although the Downtown Development Authority is going to be responsible for the remainder of the balance on the project.
All right, any questions about that?
Is this gonna tie into a bigger, trail on the Alabama side eventually, maybe?
I'd love for it to.
Seems like that.
I would love for it to.
Seems like I read that somewhere.
Be nice. All right, thank you. All right, finally, we have the 2026 city budget update.
Yes, sir. This is absolutely a preliminary look. The departments finished up the budget on Friday, and I have worked through those the last couple of days just to come up with an idea of where we are. I'd say 75% chance that this probably is not correct exactly, but I think the numbers are pretty close. I think fleshed out most of the issues that we might have, but you can see that the projected revenue of $29 million, department request is $30 million, about $245,000 apart right now. The salary changes that we have discussed for city employees is not included in here. We did just do the cost of living adjustment is included, but we haven't worked through that process yet. If we're gonna do additional changes to salaries, that's not in here. There's some project-specific stuff that we've not looked at yet, that's not included in here. So this is just pretty much the basic operational request from the departments versus what, pretty close, that's the revenue projected. So that's where we are on that. Couple of other things that are a little bit concerning at this point. Y'all know that we've talked about doing the water plant expansion, which is an $18 to $20 million project, and the water intake project, which is $8 to $12 million project. You can see that our current debt right now on our water and sewer system is about $19 million. On the right there, that graph shows our revenue, or sales of water and sewer for the last, 2006 through 25. And, not flat, but that's just pretty steady revenue, but not really that much growth since, 2010 or somewhere along in there. So, the water plant and the water intake project are not revenue generating projects. Even though we have the $6 million that's coming from the Corps of Engineers on the water intake, we've met with them and really get the feeling that that project's gonna be a good bit more than what they had originally anticipated. So, I'm not sure how we're gonna go. Sammy and I've got another call with them, this week to talk about that further, so we'll be able to, get some more information and have an update on that at the next work session. The water plant project would be a bond project. If again, very concerned about revenue and the cost of operations, being able to afford to do that project. We're about 90% with the engineering on it, so we may be able to get as far as putting it out to bid to see what the prices are, but we got to figure out the finance piece first. So again, as we go through the budget and talk about what we're going to do next year, I'll be updating you on those two things prior to the submitting the budget on the 28th of October. So we'll have some conversations to have between now and then. And I think just kind of along the same line on revenues on the general fund side of the budget, you can see that again, it's been an upward trend, which is, we've been very fortunate to have had that. You can see where 2017, 2018, we kind of dropped off and leveled out. And even though I don't think in 26, 27, we're going to see a drop off in revenues, I do see, or don't see any additional projects or additional revenues that are out there. So I think we're going to plane off in the next few years budget-wise. So hopefully we'll be able to get some of these new projects that we've been talking about and get those underway and generate some new tax revenue and utility revenue. And that's my preliminary brief update on the budget process.
All right, anybody have any questions on that? Okay, well, the next thing is gonna be the executive session. I'll need a motion for that, but let's, since everybody will probably be gone by the time we get back from that, is there any other announcements? Anybody have any announcements? Okay, what you got?
The annual Walking for a Cure was going to be October the 25th at the West Point Pavilion, and this is sponsored by the Betty LaGale Foundation.
Okay. And sign up for Christmas gifts for children from Salvation Army. The deadline is October 22nd, and you sign up at www.saaangeltree.org. So it's 2 A's, saaangel.org. So look that up and get signed up if you need assistance with that. So with that, I need a motion to enter an executive session.
I'll move that we adjourn this session and move to the executive session.
Thank you. I need a second.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.